I got one where the girl has a dumpy, but the show is itself a dumpy. She also has the really big, like...
I showed my brother and my mom My Hero. I showed him like 2 or 3 episodes. And like about 2 weeks later, my brother called me, tells me that him and my mom finished the entire like series. At the point, there's only 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But he's like, when are we going to get more? I'm like, welcome to Life is Daijoubu, episode 54, our spring 2024 seasonal recap review, whatever it is, whatever you call it. My name's Cole. I'm joined by Skylar and Thane. Skylar's down there. He's rocking his blue juice, his blue blazer. He's got the business casual Pikachu going on.
We're gaming.
You know, might be because of work or something, but this summer feels like it's gone very slow.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's a good feeling.
And I kind of like that.
I like it when summer goes slow.
It's warm. It's nice.
Yeah. This guy is also sporting a Cowboy Bebop. Thane over here sporting Adam Sandler.
That's Jim Carrey. I forgot to put on a shirt.
That's my favorite anime.
I love that anime.
I forgot to
Adam Sandler's my favorite character. You've seen Click, right? Great anime.
I totally blanked. I forgot to get an anime shirt, but you know, Jim Carrey's been in an anime. I think I'm gonna have to fact check that.
I'm sporting my boy Slifer the Sky Dragon. This counts, right?
I'll count it.
Sure, yeah, he's an anime.
He's in an
character.
anime.
I need to get more anime shirts. I think this is the second time I've worn our boy here.
I don't think. Okay, so I have a new Chainsaw Man shirt. It will not work for this because it's just one little square right here, and it covers up on the blazer.
Yeah.
The back's got a cool design.
My Astro Boy shirt, I thought, oh man, this would be cool. It's a back design. I was like, this is a front. This totally should go on the front.
Maybe when Alex comes down next weekend, we could go to Twin and shop.
Let's go. Let's do it. I'd like to go look for some more stuff, you know? I love buying my mangas, my
That means a probably have to
shirts.
walk into a Spencer's.
Ooh, yeah. Yikes. Just kidding. If you shop at Spencer's, we mean no disrespect.
They got some shirts. They got
They
some
do got
buys
some
in
shirts.
there.
They got
some
shirts.
good
That's the
buys.
only good things it got. Right next to the dildos.
Wait, you don't like the penis candies?
No.
What about the penis candles?
I don't know what that would smell like. I don't think I
What
want to
would
know.
it smell like? Anyway, yes, today's Life is Daijoubu. We've got our anime podcast. We got our news. But hey, it's also the seasonal recap. So we're going to be going over every single little bit that we possibly can of the season. But before we do that, we will be talking about the news that we have. Starting out with the new season announcement. I can't speak. New season announcements. There we go. It's a shame that I edit these, so I don't just caught up my old previous bad takes. But yes, we've got some new announcements. I don't have any. I only have 2. I couldn't find anything else. Like, there's not been very many shows that announced a new season. But I also noticed that this season was like a big majority of sequels of other shows. So
Yeah, that was like almost the entirety of what I watched.
yeah, and I think that's partly why there wasn't very many new announcements. Anyway, the first one is Windbreaker is getting a season 2. That was technically a new show.
Yeah.
And then the next one is Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy. He's getting a season 3. I don't even know if there was a season 2 of that this season, but hey, there you have it. Oh, there was. Okay.
Yeah. It was like last season.
If I had to guess, as a speculative person that I am, Kaiju number 8 has not aired the final episode to my knowledge, and I imagine right after that they're going to announce a season 2.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, yeah, probably so. All right, the next little bit of news that we have are not new season announcements, but we've got some anime announcements as well as some random tidbits. So first thing is Demon Slayer is reported to end after season 4 and then have a trilogy of movies cover the final arc.
That's a good play.
You think so?
I think so. Because the last, from what I remember, the last arc was like 70 or 80 chapters of the manga.
Yeah.
And if this season isn't telling of we made an oopsie, then I don't know what is. And I feel like that's a good thing that they're going to do.
Yeah. I kind of agree with you there. I'm just curious how the movies are going to be because Tanjiro is the main character. but the final arc covers a lot of other people's stories. So I just imagine each movie is going to like the finale of that movie is going to be a different character, not Tanjiro. So I don't know about that, but I guess it'll probably work because it's Demon Slayer still. Nobody really cares what Tanjiro does.
Yeah.
Sadly.
The next couple are anime announcements. We've got Bad Girl, which was a manga. I don't know anything about it. I vaguely remember the picture in my head when I looked it up, but yeah, there you go. Next is Once Upon a Witch's Death. It's a novel series getting an anime. And then even given the worthless appraiser class, I'm actually the strongest. It's a light novel getting an anime. That's the classic name you've ever heard in the world.
Yeah.
The more interesting one is Ranma 1/2 is getting a remake anime, just like Urusei Yatsura.
Cool.
Which is cool. I know that the previous Ranma 1/2 anime never actually finished covering what the manga had. They did like 3 or 4 seasons, so like there's a lot of Ranma 1/2 anime, but they never finished it. So I imagine they're going to do a very similar thing to what they did with Urusei Yatsura, which needs one more season still. This last season won't finish it. And the last thing I've got is My Hero Academia's manga is set to end in 5 chapters. As of you hearing this, probably 4 chapters, because I think there'll be a chapter tomorrow on Sunday. So 4 chapters. What do you guys thinking about My Hero? Do you have any fun memories of My Hero Academia?
I like the overhaul arc and the war arc.
Yeah, the war arc was hype.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think one of my favorites was when all of us were watching it with Zay and Colby every week.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun. That lasted 1 season pretty much.
Yeah. That lasted 3 seasons because we're watching Overhaul.
Oh, yeah. I guess I was thinking like the weekly stuff we were watching with them.
But it was like they were into it.
Yeah.
Both of them were like excited to sit down and watch.
Mm-hmm. I remember one time when I went home to visit my parents, I showed my brother and my mom My Hero. I showed them like 2 or 3 episodes. And like about 2 weeks later, my brother called me, tells me that him and my mom finished the entire like series. At the point, there's only 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But he's like, when are we going to get more? I'm like, in a year, maybe, if you're lucky. I don't think they've ever gone back and watched it, but apparently they really liked it to the point where they just binged the whole thing in like a week and a half.
I remember when I first saw My Hero, it was back in like 2017, but I think season 1 is already out and they were on season 2 where they go to like the forest camp with the rabbit girls.
Yeah.
And I was watching.
You mean the cat girls?
Cat girls.
Sorry, not rabbit
girls. The mommy girl.
Yeah, with the big feet.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was watching Soul Eater on Crunchyroll at the time.
Oh.
And I didn't pay for it, so I just had ads keep popping up. There's ads for My Hero.
Oh, okay. So and
that's how I saw it.
Did you go and watch it after that?
No, sir.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, that pretty much wraps up our news. I did say earlier that I don't need to pull up my phone, but I am actually going to pull up my phone for one little thing, and it'll be the little quick recap of the the spring season, just so we can get a rough idea of the season. If you don't remember some of the shows that were coming out, we can quickly talk about them. So obviously we had the Demon Slayer, season 4 technically, Kaiju number 8, Konosuba, Mushoku Tensei, Slime season 3, that Windbreaker was a popular one. My Hero had a new season as well. Spice and Wolf had the remake. And I think those are some of the biggest ones. If I'm missing some, let me know. But those are probably the biggest ones of the season so far. And I think only one of those, maybe 2 of those, were standalone, like new series, new shows. And that's a little telling, I think, to the season. But with that, we can start with our recap, our review. And as we always do, I, for some reason, still like to bring up the Mal's top 5, My Anime List's top 5 based on their ratings. And I pulled up more than 5 because I wanted to try to get more non-season 2s or sequels, but there's just too many. And so I think we've got like 7, maybe 6. So, number 1 is Sound Euphonium Season 3 at an 8.62, which is very surprising to me. I would not have expected that one.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the series because I've never watched it, but from what I understand, people didn't like it that much, but apparently Season 3 might have been peak, I guess.
I watched season 1 and 2, and it was very boring at parts, but I was never in high school band, so maybe that's that's another appealing part of it. I don't know.
So
Gotcha.
It's just cute girls.
Cute girls doing cute things.
Yeah, it's just slice of life.
Just slice it, yeah. I heard 2 of them are like it's eerie a little bit, and I like that, so I might go watch it.
That's cool.
If you want, there's a standalone movie called Liz and the Bluebird.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bump your mic up a little bit. There you go.
That's a really good movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's like completely standalone. Like you don't need to watch anything else.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe I'll do. Maybe I will go jump on it. Speaking of cute girls doing cute things, we've got Girls Band Cry at an 8.46. Now, this one's the controversial one, I think, amongst our little trio right here. Me and Thane did not watch it, but I know somebody here that did watch it that also stopped watching it.
Who could it be?
Who could it
be?
If it wasn't you, Dane. Oh, no.
Any quick thoughts on that in Sky?
I'll talk about it.
Gotcha.
After this.
I am curious about this show now because of how many people liked it with it still being a CG show.
Agreed.
Like I've seen it all over Reddit. Like people like this show. I don't understand why they like it because I've heard them complain about Attack on Titan CG, which is really good CG in my opinion. So I don't know.
Gotta love the double standards.
You can't even notice it most of the time.
Yeah. Next is Konosuba Season 3 at an 8.45. What can we say? It's pretty peak, so like obviously it's there. Bless you, Thane.
Thank you.
Next is Mushoku Tensei Season 2 at a I guess like 2.5, 2 part
Season
5.
2 part 2.
At an 8.43, which all these are minuscule numbers compared to like what far from each other. They're pretty dang neck and neck. And the next one at a very similar number is Kaiju number 8 at an 8.35. Yeah. Then it starts going down from there. And so those like 5 that I've already said are basically your top 5. But then I just added a couple extras trying to get more non-sequels. But the very next one is a sequel, which is the Duke of Death and His Maid Season 3 at an 8.12. Skylar, you didn't watch this season, did you? You watched season 1, maybe not 2?
No, I haven't watched any of it. I read the manga.
You read the manga. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. The last one on here is the Spice and Wolf remake at an 8.09.
I have a feeling it's so low because there's people, it's like, it's not better than the remake. I mean, it's about better than the original 0 out of 10. It's like those types of people.
Those people exist for sure.
Gatekeepers that
It's like,
they don't want anything to get updated because...
why can't you just enjoy a remake for what it is and say, it's not better than the original, but it's fine? I don't get it.
But that's the rough top 5 of Mal's anyway. I mean, it's probably not reflective of our opinions very much. I imagine we're going to be talking about some of those. But without further ado, I guess we can get more so into our own actual opinions. Overall thoughts on the season, boys. What did you like?
I really enjoyed it.
You really enjoyed it?
But it definitely was like you had to prep for it. Because there's a lot of season 3s and 4s and stuff.
Like if you weren't watching these shows already, then you're kind of boned.
Yeah,
on
this
some
was
good
like
shows.
a 5-year prep to this season. If you were in 5 years, you're gaming, bro. You got some good stuff.
Yeah. I wasn't even caught up on 2 of the shows, but I'm trying to catch up because they're carryovers for next season.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of carryovers actually. Yeah. Well, I guess it's time. We'll get into our actual categories, our actual segments, starting off with our biggest surprise.
I could go first because I could talk about the girls band Cry.
There you go.
My biggest surprise, and this was a Cole recommendation, was Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. So this one and Girls Band Cry are very similar, as in they're about girl bands. Although Girls Band Cry is more of a band as opposed to Jellyfish Can't Swim is more of a team.
Yeah.
Putting something together. The The girls band Cry, I really enjoyed the first couple episodes. I thought the CG, for the most part, was pretty good. There were some shots in that where you're like, whoa, the music's really good too. But Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night, I feel like had sooner or faster character development that I was more interested in. I guess it had more things that were relatable to me, and it happened faster than Girls Band Cry, so I got hooked on that one faster than the other one.
Yeah.
But based upon the Smile score, I'm curious to go back and watch it because some of the music I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But it was also like, man, like CG anime versus Jellyfish anime. Like that one was a really big surprise for me. I really enjoyed it.
I'll piggyback right off of that because Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night is also my biggest surprise. Yeah, basically ditto to whatever Skylar just said. I remember watching the first episode and being like, whoa, that was so much better than I thought it was going to be. I got a lot of like Licorice Recoil vibes from it. Obviously very different genres, but similar stories.
Yeah, well, and the characters are very relatable, especially for us, because they're doing things that are in the same vein as us, like the entertainment, content creation industry.
Totally.
And there's episodes where some of the girls are going through it, and I'm just like, bro.
She's just sitting there, just looking out the window like, man, why are the numbers not very high? I'm just like,
why does everybody hate
just
me?
like me for real.
I just read 8 good comments and then 1 bad one.
It ruined your day.
Yeah, I'm going to go kill myself.
Yeah, so Jellyfish, great surprise. Thank you for making that, people who made it. What's your surprise, Dade?
Mine was Windbreaker. It had some of the plot's not too deep, and it probably relies on a lot of cliches, but the fights, holy crap, those fights are very well animated, very well choreographed. Like it's like they actually got a choreographer in there and actually said, all right, here's how delinquents would fight if they knew martial arts. The fights alone are worth watching. Like the story's basic. The characters are not like too deep, but I think it's worth watching for the fights, honestly. And there's season 2 coming out, and apparently said it's going to be better. People who read the manga said it's going to be better going forward. So it's like, oh, it sounds fun.
I did see one of the fights on YouTube, and it is indeed very well choreographed and animated well.
How to deal with bullying. Google. Just talk to an adult, Bing.
Yeah. Okay, so great. We had some good surprises. Now, what let us down? What was a bit of a dumpy that made us kind of sad that, we maybe had some hopes for going in and it just kind of just dumped on our parade. What do you got, Thane?
I got one where the girl has a dumpy, but the show is itself a dumpy. She also has the really big, like,
balcony.
Yeah.
Milkies.
Like abnormally huge. It's called Mysterious Disappearances. And apparently that's a title character because the short guy is that name, but in Japanese.
That's tough because I hear that and I think of like murder mysteries and I'm all for it. But now that I find out that's just a guy's name.
Well,
yikes.
There are mysterious disappearances in it.
Okay.
But like it's not a murder mystery. It's just like one of those supernatural shows where it's like, oh, look at this abnormality. It's not that great. It was short and I only watched it and I didn't really drop anything because I wasn't watching much this season. And speaking of we'll do later.
Hold off on that thought.
Yeah, because we got these guys.
My biggest letdown / dumpy is a sad one for me. It's Re-Monster. I really liked this show. A couple episodes in, I probably like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 episodes in. I was like, dang, this show is so fun. It's so unique and interesting. And then it went downhill pretty quickly after the second half. And not like unwatchable. I still finished it happily. But like by the final like 3 or 4 episodes, you're just like, this is just very mediocre at this point. It's not as exciting as it was. It's not as like genre defining, I guess, if you will. It's an isekai, right? So, and he respawns as a goblin and slowly makes his way up and like becomes different versions of goblins and eventually becomes like an ogre and like he's just very strong, very powerful. And it's super cool to watch him like put together this society because they're all goblins, and apparently goblins in this world don't really progress much. They don't evolve much. They just die as goblins because they're all weaklings. And this guy essentially made all the goblins that he was born with say, hey, let's be strong. And he made a big society. It was really cool to watch that society build up and like their inter politics and things like that. And then the last half was just like, dude, check it out. I got like 13 girls with me all around. I got them all preggers. We're just destroying everything we see. We're just, oh, let's go. Big, strong man. And that was it. Really went downhill in my opinion. But that was mine.
Mine was Demon Slayer. And I think it was more so because whenever you hear the word Demon Slayer when it comes to anime, you just get hyped. You're like, okay, let's go. Banger animation, fight scenes. It's going to be great. And I had completely forgotten about this arc from when I read the manga. And I remembered why, because it's incredibly boring. And it doesn't matter how good the animation looks. If the substance that's being animated is boring, it is boring.
Isn't this only a volume's worth of content? From what I remember.
don't remember.
Yeah, I don't think I remember it not being very long, like 5 chapters maybe, and apparently they stretched it to how many episodes is this season?
It's actually technically a shorter season, but also the last 2 episodes are supposed to be longer, and the first episode was a little bit longer too.
The first episode was like 45 minutes.
So like it's gonna be the same length anyway.
What were they thinking?
So I think I'm just gonna watch because I think I got like episode 3 or 4, and I was so checked out. Like the episode 1 was good because it's like getting to the practice arc or the training
it's
arc.
essentially filler. They made a whole season of filler.
Right, but it's I mean it's in the manga. I obviously I don't know the one-to-one what it is, but
here's a philosophical thought. Manga also has filler.
Yeah,
it's when
true.
people want to make more chapters, but it's like, let's have them do this BS.
I do like it when shows like show the characters training so that they're just not all of a sudden boom stronger. But I don't know, making a whole season about it. It'd be like if those couple episodes when Naruto's like learning how to do the Rasen Shuriken. If he's just doing that for a whole 12 episodes, he's just sitting under that water with his shadow clone, just freaking Rasen Shuriken,
You know what could have
12 episodes.
You know what could have made great filler of Naruto? Instead of those weird non-canon 2 years of filler, they could have just had him do training for like a few episodes. I don't know. Food for thought.
I think the worst part about it is Ufotable does such a good job of making this look like the greatest anime ever made. And the intro's amazing. Like the music slaps, the animation's great, and then you get into it and you're just like, man, Tanjiro's talking to this gamer who's training a bunch of other gamers, and now we're going to the next building. More training. It's just like, oh my God, kill me.
I think it's supposed to be a fun little victory lap of seeing all the Hashira, but we don't care about any of the people they actually went and saw. We care about the one dude, the guy from the entertainment district arc.
Yeah, with his wives.
He's the only one we actually like.
His 3-breasted wives.
I guess we got Tomiko, but we literally just saw him in the last arc, and so it hasn't been long. And the only other guy that we could go see dead, so...
See his dad.
I don't really even know their names, if I'm being quite honest.
I know like a handful of them. I don't remember why I remember Tomiko, if I'm being completely honest. I remember Rengoku.
Yeah, he's a baller. Was.
But like, that's it. Yeah, you got Butterfly Girl, you got Water Guy. Yeah, I don't know their names.
You got the sad, depressed guy.
Angry Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Demon Slayer. That's Demon Slayer, I guess, for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Thane, why don't you get us started on the things you dropped? Just after our dumpies, what did you drop all the way?
So you see, I was going to have this perfect season. It's like, I'm not going to drop anything. I'm kind of low-key enjoying most of the stuff. But then here comes Mission Yozakura Family. And of all the shows to get a 2-core carryover, this one had to have the worst animation of the season that I've watched. If there was a category for worst animation, it would have been here. And I see I'm on episode 11 and it says 27 episodes. It's like, I've read the manga. It's very average story. I can't do this. I'm dropping it. Get better if it had better animation, maybe I would carry over, watch like, yeah, sure, why not? But no, I almost had a perfect season of no drops. Mission Yosakura family came
Lost
in and ruined that.
Salute another one. I've got two kind of sections of this. So I've got the thing that I actually dropped, and then I've got another section I'm calling limbo for now, where I've got a handful of these shows that are just in limbo because I do want to watch them, but I just don't have any desire to go back
I have
right
a few
now.
limbo shows too. It was it's Demon Slayer, which I didn't start.
Fair.
And there's My Hero, which I hadn't finished the season, so I haven't got caught up.
Yeah.
But
then
you've
there
already
was-
read both of those, though.
There was a Slime, which I'm watching right now. Very fun. Yeah.
So my drop show is a show called God's Game We Play. I got 3 episodes in, and during the 4th episode, when I realized by the way, this is English dubbed, so it actually helped. But by the 4th episode, when I realized I was just literally checked out the entire thing, I knew it was time to drop it. It's roughly a show about a guy that plays games like on a grand scale with the gods of their world, and he teams up with a goddess. She's hot, I guess. I don't know.
Nice.
So like the whole premise is like he's trying to find this girl that taught him how to play games when he was a kid, who's got red hair, just like our main protagonist. And he's even brought it up to this girl, and she's like, I don't remember. I was in an iceberg or something like that. It couldn't have been me. I'm sure the end of the season's going to be like, yeah, it actually was me. Haha, get wrecked, fool. But like, who cares? I don't care about these characters. They don't do anything for me. The games they're playing aren't that great either. They're trying to be like really high IQ mind games, but they just don't do it right. I don't know. That's my thoughts. The girl was cute. That's why I jumped on it to begin with, I'm being completely honest. What can I say? I'm a simple man. But my limbo shows. Okay. So, 2 of them, technically 3 of them actually, were releasing this season, and I definitely do want to go back to them. The first one is obviously Spice and Wolf. I've talked about this before, where I've got 4 or 5 episodes in, and like I do want to keep going with it. I just don't have a desire to watch it right now. I'm not sure if it's just because it's very slow of a story or if it's so chill or something. I don't know, but at some point I will get back in. And maybe that's kind of telling for their other shows too, because these other ones are also kind of slow and chill. Next is Urusei Yatsura. Now, season 1 and 2, I absolutely adored. Season 3, is this technically? I don't even know what season this is. Last season we started it, and then it carried over into this season. That's kind of a recurring thing. If it's a carryover, I kind of put it down and put it in limbo. Urusei Yatsura is currently in limbo. I have watched a couple episodes from these last 12, but I've not finished it. Delicious in Dungeon is another one on this list where it's a carryover that I stopped about the halfway mark, and I will get back to it eventually, but it's just in limbo. And then the last one, now this, I just remembered this one. This one's from like seasons ago. This is Rurouni Kenshin. I watched the first half of that season, and then during the carryover into the next season, I didn't watch it. I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed it too. It was a lot of fun. It was very nostalgic for me back in the day, but those are my limbo shows and the actual show that I did drop. Sky, what do you got?
I dropped Demon Slayer, obviously, but I think I'm going to go back and watch the last episode or maybe the last 2, whatever. Girls Band Cry, which maybe will get picked on the show someday. And then the other one is called Tonebo, is that golfing one where it looks trash, but then when she picks up a golf club and swings it, it's like the greatest thing you've ever seen. It's boring.
It's kind of like a video game where like it's got really low quality pixel art, but then when someone does a really cool move, it like suddenly has a high budget animation attacking.
All right.
Pokemon. I'm just kidding. It's not.
Now let's get into some fun categories. We're starting out with favorite opening. My favorite opening was very apparent to me from episode 1. I knew nothing was ever going to beat it. And it's Konosuba's opening, Growing Up. I'm sorry, everybody, but you all are wrong. Konosuba's openings are the best, and if you say anything else, you're just wrong. Konosuba does not miss with their openings. They are peak. The music is so fun. The animation is great. If you watch the little animation, it tells a little story. It's like you're watching an episode of Konosuba. This time, we see the gang just hanging out at their house, and they go on a quest, and then they go fight a dragon, and hey, Kazuma died, and then he got respawned. All within the opening. It's so peak. So good.
Okay.
That's my thoughts.
I think mine, with like hands down, nothing even coming close to it, was Kaiju number 8.
Oh
The
yeah,
music
That's
slapped.
me too.
And the animation, like that was, I would say, the most unique anime opening I have ever seen.
You know, the CG is incredible. Like they pulled out the Unreal Engine 5 for that.
Bro, there's like parts
Yeah.
where you're like, feel like you're looking through a kaleidoscope, but it's actually just a bunch of monsters, and the music's great. It's got Youngblood that sang it. I'm a big fan. I don't know. That was even like, I don't know if there's any anime intros that I could even compare it to because it's so unique.
Yeah, it's a new. I remember watching a video where it's like this one guy changed anime intros, and it's like, wow, I noticed that a lot. Now this intro may be like, yeah, it might change anime intros. People might just use CG really high, hopefully really high quality. I remember JoJo did that, but they did it for like select few seasons.
Was it the first season?
First season,
Phantom Blood. That was
Phantom Blood.
it was CG.
Phantom Blood, Battle Tendency, Stone Ocean, both
All of
Stone
those.
Ocean and Stardust Crusaders used all those. Parts 4 and 5 didn't use any CG.
I'll confess that I do think Kaiju number 8 is good, and while the animation's cool, I think I don't know, it didn't do it for me. I did like the song though, but it's really hard for me to not pick Konosuba's. Also, I liked the ending better of Kaiju number 8 than I did of the opening. I think I just like the song better. I think that's really what it was. But yeah, that one is a good one. Very, very, very good one. Sorry I roasted you guys right before you even said anything by saying you guys are wrong, even if you don't pick it. Will you forgive me?
No.
Oh, okay, fair. Let's move into our hottest takes to see if we can get any other forgiveness from anyone else from our takes.
Definitely not from me.
I'll go first because I think my take is probably the weakest of the three. I don't know what yours is, but writing mine down, I thought this is kind of a weak take. And it's that this whole season was very mediocre because there was only like 2 or 3 shows, maybe 4 to 5 that were peak. But we talked about it earlier. You had to have seen the previous things before to actually enjoy it. So I think as a whole, if you're just getting into anime and you start with this season,
It's a DLC season.
yeah, it's a DLC season. If you start with this season of anime as like one of your first seasons of getting into anime, you're probably going to be very disappointed because you won't know what's going on for any of them.
This is the World of Warcraft season.
This is the Shadows of the Earth tree of anime seasons.
Like you get what? Kaiju number 8, Jellyfish Can't Swim, Girls Band Cry,
Spice and Wolf, technically.
Spice and Wolf. Yeah, I guess you got that. But that's pretty much it. That are on the
bangers.
brain in my head anyway.
The bangers.
Of the bangers, yeah. So, yeah, that's my take. This season was actually mediocre, even though we all think it was really good.
I can go next. My take is, I think that My Hero Academia is one of the best shonen ever made, specifically because there's very little filler, and they have a direction and they go that way. I really like the characters. The fights are cool. And I think My Hero has one of the best villains in shonen.
Like he is very well fleshed out, I would say.
Yeah, very well fleshed out, and sometimes you feel bad for the guy.
I don't know how far it is, but there's one scene in particular that I can think of from the manga that made me laugh out loud. Pun intended with the LOL. Yeah, moving on. Thane.
Well, I might have a conflict of opinions because I think both Demon Slayer and My Hero Academia are pretty overrated. This is me mostly say it to piss off Twitter, but I think when you boil them down, they're not really. I wouldn't consider them peak shonen. Like they're fun on their own right, but like when you got other things to compare, I don't think they're that great.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
I think they are overrated, but that's why I wrote best shonen.
Yeah. Well, when I say well, I got better shonen. Like Chainsaw Man's technically a shonen,
That's true.
and I think One Piece is like where it is right now is amazing. right now, like because it's like gearing up. So, pun intended.
Good one.
Yeah. But I think compared to other shonens, I there is a lot more others I like. Even in Weekly Shonen Jump right now, like Sakamoto Days, I can't wait for that anime to come out.
Well, so with the other one that you guys really like that
Kagurabachi,
yeah, that one.
Like I would say the story's not amazing, but the action carries it.
See, I think that'll be really fun animated.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think Hunter x Hunter is the best shonen.
Oh yes, of course. It's that one the peak for me.
I don't think the villains are as fleshed out, but the main characters are more fleshed out than My Hero ever was.
Oh yeah.
I liked Miriam. I liked his villain arc because it's like
he's interesting. I don't know. I just don't think. I think Shigaraki's still a better villain than Miriam.
Okay. Well, I like Crollo Lucifer, and I can't wait for his backstory whenever they get to it, if they ever get to it.
Yeah, that was gonna say. Like he's kind of just there. You don't really get to know about him.
He's very scary, is what he's got.
He doesn't seem like a villain either. He's more of like an antagonist, like a anti-villain, or like a Deadpool.
Yeah.
Well, that's one I still need to watch.
Kind of like Hisoka as well.
What he's done, I would still consider him a villain. I think he's an awful person.
Oh, obviously, yeah. But like, he's not done like.
But I guess the only people he's targeted was like crime bosses, crime families.
Yeah.
But I mean, in the Heavens Arena, like in the manga later that the anime hasn't updated, he has done something horrible.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sky, have you seen Hunter x Hunter yet? Okay, I didn't think you had. I was just double checking.
You should watch it, man.
It's a good one.
Just that 114 episodes or whatever it is
it goes
a big
by
wall
quick.
To climb.
It goes by pretty quick.
All right. Well, that's hot as takes for you. Let's do best boy. Who was the best boy of the season? Rudius.
That's me. That's for me.
That's for you.
I don't know what else. I was like, I was put Rudius. Very compelling character this season.
He's very deep, bro. Yeah. He's a very wears his emotions on his sleeve.
He's a very loving husband. There you go.
I could say a lot about that character, and I agree with a lot of what you guys have said, but I had to pick somebody else this season. It was Kazuma Sato. I couldn't not, dude. He's just so good.
He was my consideration for other ones.
He's such a good character this season too. Like he had a lot of like good moments of like helping out and
being a good person,
which is very not him normally.
Being less of an asshole than previous seasons.
Very fun. Like the last little arc with Darkness. Oh man, so good. He's just like, oh, you're right. Fine, I'll actually do it. I know I was waiting, but like, gosh, I guess we'll do it. And it's so good, dude. It's so good. Cosmo's best boy.
I picked Kafka Hibino from Kaiju number 8.
Oh, he was a good one too.
He's just a gamer, dude. He's just kind of like a happy-go-lucky guy. He's got his goal that he's working towards, but he really cares about the people that he really cares about. Yeah. And without spoiling it, he does a lot of sacrificing. He puts himself in some pickles.
He's got a big heart.
He's got a big heart. And a big secret.
I like Kafka as well. Kafka's fun. All right. Jumping off the heels of best boy, thinking of your best boys, what was your favorite fan service of the season?
I think my only one was Mushoku Tensei.
Oh, so not best boys? Your best boys didn't give you the best fan service? Okay, my bad. Mushoku Tensei, okay.
Yeah, there's just a lot of cute moments. Obviously Mushoku Tensei always has a little bit of underlining horniness.
Oh yeah.
But the fan service that I really liked was a lot of the cute moments that Twitter and Reddit freaked out about and said the show sucked. Well, they're dumb. So those are the stuff that I really liked. The slice of life episodes and stuff.
Gotcha.
Go into anime circle jerk, you'd be like, Mushoku Tensei is being awful again. I was like, get out here with this bullshit.
My favorite fan service moment of the season was from Konosuba. It's when Kazuma switched bodies with Iris and he hangs out with the Darkness and the attendant lady. Oh boy.
Wow. And then it cuts off just at the good moment.
Darkness fans were eating good this season, I'll tell you what.
Well, mine was probably just like banked off the horniness, I guess, and that's mysterious disappearances, mostly because there are several scenes where she's just naked in the shower. And I did look up the manga. They actually do show her nipples.
Of course they do.
She has those weird inverted nipples pushed in.
When they're that large, you got to do something special with them too.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just like most of the time it's just her big boobs. That's all I can remember for the show.
You're a man of culture thing.
Yeah. I don't think we're ever going to get a second season because the first season wrapped up and I don't think enough people cared to watch it. So there you go.
Fresh off the heels of our horniest moments, who is your best girl of the season? I'll start. My best girl is Roxy McGurdia. She's just so good. I really, really like her. And I don't know. There's just a lot to like about Roxy. I'm biased from all the context of future chapters and stuff and future things in the series as well, but she's just best girl. She's so good.
All right.
It's like, nope, I don't agree.
No, I like Roxy too, but I picked the classic. She just came back and it was Holo from Spice and Wolf. She's really cute. She is wise.
She's got a fun personality.
Yeah. I really like Holo.
She's like underline tsundere at times.
Yeah. She's a tease.
So mine, you guys are going to be a little bit shocked, I think, but I'll explain, is I picked Darkness.
Oh.
Darkness was up front and center almost the entirety of this season.
Yeah.
And it was really fun to see her... You got to see a lot of different sides of Darkness, from happy to her kinky side to sad and frustrated, and it was great, dude. You're not wrong. Darkness fans, that we were eating good.
Yeah,
we were eating good.
It was definitely a Darkness centered season for sure.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed it.
Now, before we get through the rest of the fun stuff, we got one more dumpy part of the awards. We've got the worst protagonist. I honestly, there's always a correlation with these worst protagonists. They tend to be from shows that we disliked or dropped eventually, and mine is the same. It's from God's Game We Play. His name is Faye. I briefly touched on it earlier. He's just a guy. He was really good at games apparently, but he's no Yugi Moto, I tell you what. So, yeah, he's just your generic black hair anime boy that's very self-insert, and there's just not a lot of substance to the man.
For worst protagonist, got Taiyo Asano from Mission Yozakura Family. Compared to like a standard shonen protagonist, he's pretty beta, as they call it. He scored his childhood crush and married him, got into a marriage. But I don't know. He's kind of not very compelling as a protagonist. He's not my least favorite. He's actually tolerable, unlike the creepy older brother. Like, I don't like that guy at all. And he probably is the reason a lot of people would drop the manga or the anime. But yeah, I don't really care for much of him. There's other characters I like in this show a lot better. He's kind of just not one. I like the love interest better. I think she would make an interesting protagonist, but she's not very combat oriented, so I don't know.
Fair.
So for mine, I had a hard time deciding because there's not really anybody that I very much dislike this season. But I guess I'll pick the merchant guy from Spice and Wolf. He's kind of boring at times, and I think Hollow's just a far better character than he is. I don't even know his name, if that's telling
enough. Isn't it
enough.
Lawrence?
Lawrence, yes.
Yeah, Lawrence.
Kraft
Okay.
Lawrence.
I know his name.
Yeah, Kraft Lawrence.
And maybe he gets better, but like for
He's
me,
pretty cool.
Hollow's the one that makes the show.
I think their dynamic is great. He's a merchant, and she helps him with stuff.
Let's be honest. You only watch Spice and Wolf because Hollow's cute. Let's be real. That's what you're watching the show for.
Yeah, and honestly, like I think the overarching I guess, plot or the idea of it's just he's selling stuff, trying to get the bag, like
trying to get that bread.
It's kind of boring, man. But like Hollow's super fun, and you're not wrong, Thane. The dynamic between the two is really great. But what he is as a character, I guess his purpose, I don't know. It's a little mediocre.
Okay. Well, not speaking of mediocre things, let's jump into a best protagonist, the people that really got us liking their show. Let's start with Thane.
It's Rudius.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wait, pause. Sky?
Yeah.
Cole? Rudius?
Yeah. He has the best development.
We just 3-0'd right there, dude.
Yeah.
Rudius Gray, baby. Best protagonist of the season. What are your thoughts? Why?
He's so deep, dude. And like I already mentioned, the dude wears his emotions on his sleeve, so you freaking know exactly what he's thinking. And the idea of him still being from his past life and trying to break those habits of that past life, and he still has to deal with that crap now. He doesn't get like a do-over. It's like, oh, bro, I sucked then. I still got to fix that crap because I still suck if I don't fix it.
Yeah.
Fun, man. I don't know. It's really fun.
I will say that, like, oh shoot, oh man, just gone, just poof, gone. Yeah, Rudius, he's great. Oh, okay, I remember now. There, I just have to speak a little bit, just get my words out. So, yes, what you said, he wears his emotions on his sleeve and stuff. It's very obvious what he's feeling, and I'm very happy that they animated everything like that, because in the light novel, we just get his inner monologue, his thoughts, you know? And so we understand all that without having to see it. But because they do such a good job of like showing him as a character, we just understand. We don't need it all. It's great. He really is such a really good, deep protagonist for sure. And it continues to be that way.
And if he's sad, just bang him. He'll get
Not even spoiling the show, I'll just continue to tell you that Rudius still continues to stay peak. Just letting y'all know. Be prepared for the next 3 or 4 or 5 seasons of this show whenever it finishes up in 2042. It's still peak. It'll always be peak. This show is just great. Cool. We got a nice 3-0. Let's do favorite endings.
I like Konosuba.
Yeah?
It tells a story.
I also like Konosuba. Konosuba just cleared the opening ending for me, but it tells a story, exactly.
Yeah. It's a little tadpole, and it's funny when they grab it because the tail just smacks them in the face.
I really like the ending specifically because of the story, but also the people singing are just Darkness, Aqua, and Megumin's voice actors. Yeah. I was like, oh shoot, that's fun.
Same with season 1 and 2.
Yep. Konosuba's killing it. All right, let's hear your other opinion, Sky.
Mine was Kaiju number 8. I'm just a normie, bro. I'm just a straight up normie. It was what's their freaking names?
Not 5.
No, not Coldplay.
It's One Republic.
One Republic. Yeah. We just said 3 bands that were the same band.
Yeah, we did.
I like that video where it's like, and they got One Republic doing the ending, and then it's just the lead singer just speaking Japanese. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's fun. I like the song, and it's One Republic.
You're not wrong, dude. That song slaps. And the animation's fun, too. Like seeing all the boys and girls just hanging out, chilling, vibing. Yeah. Good stuff. I agree, but...
You think this anime is going to start a trend of just...
getting Americans to sing stuff?
Yeah.
Probably, maybe. I don't know.
Are we going to hear Eminem in an anime song?
Dude, if we hear Eminem in an anime song, I hope it's My Hero's final season. Yeah. I'm just kidding. I don't know what it would be.
And he'll drop a gay lyric. Because that's what he does, right? Yeah.
I think it'll be more. I think the song will be more a line of like something like "Till I Collapse" or "I'm Not Afraid." They're gonna do an Eminem song.
I'm not afraid. He's got Daijoubu punching somebody in the face. All right. Let's move on to our favorite antagonist or conflict. This is a new category. I made it fairly broad, so that way, if it's not a specific person you want to talk about, or if you just like the conflict of a specific show, you could throw that in here too as well. Yeah. Sky, do you want to start us off with the new segment?
Yeah, mine's Shigaraki, dude. I think he's such a banger villain. Very well written. I really like him.
Did you get the backstory episode? Is that what this is?
Yeah. Well, we got a lot of it last season too. A lot of his backstory.
Okay, there's something
Like
very
when he's
specific.
a little boy.
Yeah, he's a little boy.
I think he's a very twisted individual. So he has a broken ability that's pretty dangerous. He's like pretty much a walking atom bomb.
Right, and that's I think that's one of the reasons I really like him is because whenever he's on screen, you're like, oh my god, he can kill anyone and everyone. Don't touch him.
Such a broken ability.
There's a really cool aspect to him that you won't get till near the very end. It's very cool. I'll just tease you with that.
Thanks.
So my favorite antagonist / conflict was both a person and the conflict as a whole. And it's from Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. And the antagonist I put as Kano's mom. She's kind of the antagonist, but she's also just like one of the driving factors. She's not really the villain. So I threw her as an antagonist. But also the conflict of learning what you want to do when you grow up. Like all of that, just the whole essentially the conflict of that show. I just really vibed with. It was so fun. Very much so enjoyed. Good stuff.
So for me, kind of out of the left field was the lunatic magician from Delicious in Dungeon, and he's the concept of how like Shigaraki, like you're given power, it's pretty scary. Imagine a completely insane person with power they've built up and they just lost their mind, and they are right now they're the main antagonist, the driving force for the characters, because he's just gone insane, and it's we gotta go get our sister back, so because this guy just doesn't know reality anymore. And I think it's really cool. He's really scary. He's really scary, powerful, and his backstory is very interesting. It's whoa, that's pretty cool, and I can understand why he went insane.
Yeah. Well, we got one more new category, and it's called Better or Worse Than the Manga. I can start this one. I think that Kaiju number 8's anime is 1 million times better than the manga. I think the manga's all right, and I think it's kind of just there a little bit. But the anime just goes above and beyond. I think it does such a better job. It really does this manga justice. It takes the story that is sure very almost stereotypical at this point nowadays, but takes it and just makes it a lot more fun because the animation is just very well done. The characters are very over animated, which is a really, really good thing in my opinion for this kind of a show. That way you get the comedic elements still, even when it gets serious. One of my biggest issues with the manga was that those comedic elements, as they slowly went away, it was much more apparent because they didn't have the facial expressions and stuff as obvious, I guess. I don't know. It just that tone of it kind of shifted. And I think the anime is going to do a far better job of keeping that tone still ever present there because of the animation.
I don't have one. I haven't been reading anything that we watched.
Well, I'm just going to say, if you're going to do a weekly Shonen Jump series, make sure you actually have a good budget Mission Yozakura family. I'd say it's worse just because of the animation. The story's the same, but why can't they just learn? I think Toei Animation set a horrible standard. I hate it.
Rip. Yeah, so with that segment, if we don't ever have one, we'll just be skipped for the turn because I don't know. It's a test segment. We'll see if it ends up staying or not. I like the idea of comparing the manga to the anime, so I do want it to stay. But if none of us read anything, then we'll just skip it entirely for that season, whatever it might be. But anyway,
please be good, Sakamoto Days. I don't remember who's studio, but if it has banger animation, it'll be a success.
Is that next season?
I think winter.
Okay, because winter will also probably be Dandadan, and that's what I'm banking on. But I know Science Tower is going to be good.
They announced it. I think it's 2025, actually.
Oh, okay.
So they got time to cook.
All right, only a couple more segments before we talk about our top 3 anime of the season. And we've got, next up, most memorable moment. Thane, do you have a most memorable moment from the season?
It was the Hydra fight from Mushoku Tensei.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, especially the ending.
I picked the same thing.
You picked the same thing? I did pick something different this time.
Yeah.
And it's because I don't think I've ever laughed more in any like just like watching a TV show or movie or anything than I have at this moment. And it's in Konosuba. Minor spoilers for season 3. I mean, it's just a gag at this point, right?
Yeah.
So at one point during a big battle, Cosma dies. And we see this shot of him and the goddess Eris across from each other, just staring at each other. It lasts for like 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's the classic that works, just kills me, where it's funny at the beginning because it's like he does something and it cuts right to him just dead in front of Eris.
Yeah.
And then it sits there and you're kind of just like, is it going to last longer? And then it sits there. And after like the 1.5 minute mark, you just start laughing again because it's so absurd that they're still just sitting on it. And it's so funny to me, dude.
They did a few times where like, Cosma and Aqua at fancy restaurants, like, yeah, I'll have that. And
they just sat on there.
Yeah, I'll have that. And it's like, that's not a thing. And then they just sit on that for like a minute. And it's like, I'm dying laughing every time.
This specific one though,
isn't that where he gets killed by kobolds?
The goblins, I think, get him.
Yeah.
Or is that what they're called? Kobolds?
I think kobolds, yeah.
Yeah, dude. I was just dying laughing. I could not stop. I had to like pause the episode so I could like hear what they say afterwards so I could finish my laughing and then continue. The pause needed to go on longer is what I'm saying. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Evangelion, the elevator scene.
Kind of like the Evangelion, but not tense and sus and scary.
Yeah.
It's just funny. All right. Last one before we get to our top 3, and it's our special awards. Do you guys have any special awards for this season?
I'm going to give it to hottest love affair in Mushoku Tensei.
Fair. Very fair. Do you have a special award, Sky?
I put pissed off fandom or fandom being wrong. And there's the Mushoku Tensei fandom being wrong about the first half of the season. It was good. I like the slice of life stuff.
Yep. I agree. The slice of life stuff's really good. I think it's peak. However, my special award is the Missed It by That Much award. And surprisingly, it goes to Mushoku Tensei's episode 11. Which I think was the worst adapted episode of the entire series. I still think they did a decent enough job, and as anime only fans, it seems like you both still enjoy the show.
Yeah.
I think they missed so much context for that episode that would have upped the situation that they're in a lot more and made it a lot more understandable. Specifically, just one tiny detail they could have just slipped in, I think. And if they would have slipped in that one detail, I think the context of everything would have been a lot better. And it could have been like a little text on screen even to fix it. And it would have worked because this is kind of things that they have text on screen for a lot of the time. But I digress. It's still peak, even though it's not perfect, but nothing ever is. And with that, it is time for our best anime of 2023 summer season. That shouldn't say summer. It's supposed to say spring. Forgive me. Spring season 2024. Oh my gosh, it's really old, isn't it? 2024 summer. It's time for our best anime of spring 2024 season. Yeah. Let's go around the room with our number 3.
Konosuba.
Oh. Konosuba. Let's go. I think number 2 is probably going to be the most different though for all of us. Okay. Number 2 is for mine is Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night.
Mine was Delicious in Dungeon. It's still great.
Kaiju number 8.
I could have guessed. them all.
I think we're all on the same page for number 1.
And number 1, Mushoku Tensei.
Mushoku Tensei. Yeah.
It's so good, dude. Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be another 2 years before we get season 3, and I'm just disappointed. But hey, there's always the light novel for all you people that really enjoyed it. Become one of us. Read the light novel.
I don't read.
There's actually an audiobook from Mushoku Tensei.
Cool.
So
I don't read as he reads every single chapter that gets released every single Sunday on the Shonen Jump app.
That has pictures in it.
Still reading, bro. Still reading.
If you want to, I've not listened to the Mushoku Tensei the Mushoku Tensei audiobook. I've not listened to it myself, but I've heard good things.
Okay.
So if that's your thing, it's not a bad option. You don't have to look at the pictures after you're done, like the 4 or 5 per volume.
Yeah. I know Audible. I looked up some light novels. They have a Spice and Wolf. Maybe they'll have Mushoku Tensei on there.
Yeah, they might have it there. I think I've seen people say it's on Spotify of all places.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure you have to pay for them though. I don't think it's part of the subscription.
Yeah.
Well, with that, let's do some wrap up segments before we call it for today. We've got the shows you wished you watched. I'll start this one because mine's funny. So, the very beginning of the season, I pointed out a specific show and said, I'll watch this show. This show seems good. Well, I never put it on my list. And as such, I forgot about it over and over again. Every time I remember it, I would forget it because it wasn't on my list. And it's The Fable. I've heard good things. And it seems like an interesting show, but I just kept forgetting about it. And now it became a show I wish I watched because I never did. I
was going to watch it, but I saw who the studio's doing. It's like, oh, they did Under Ninja. It looked really bad, but people like the manga. So this is probably the same case. So I skipped it.
Yeah.
It's like, just read the manga, I guess.
2 more I've got is Girls Band Cry, just because we've already talked about why we're so confused why it's popular. And then last but not least, it's Date Alive. That's like season 5 of it, and that's why I didn't watch it. But it's one of those that I've always been like, that looks like it's trashy enough for me. I could probably watch that. And they got 5 seasons of trash. Why not? Yeah. So maybe someday I'll get to that.
Speaking of trash that's not trash, because it's a visual novel doesn't mean it's trash. It's light novel, geez. It's Tensura, as the fan name's called, but it's actually reincarnated as a slime. But people, apparently it's shortened for Tensura, but a lot of people also call it Slime Kun, Slime Sama, whatever. Because I watched the first 2 episodes recently. It's like, what? Wow, why was I watching this before? This is amazing.
Good man, right
there.
Then
we got.
I gotta watch it.
I also got Girls Band Cry because I watched the clips. I watched the clips where she puts her middle fingers up. And that was funny. And I thought maybe I should watch this show.
Maybe we should pick this for an episode then. Jeez.
Yeah.
All 3 of us are on this list.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was mine as well. I wish I would have kept going with it. I think I dropped it after episode 3, so.
3 episodes typically is a good time to drop a show, I would say. Yeah. That's about what I did with that one, the God's Game We Play.
Right. But it was just, I watched Jellyfish, and I think that one got me faster.
Yeah, fair.
Once again, though, I'll throw this out there, is I was watching Girls Band Cry weekly, and I didn't start Jellyfish until about 4 episodes in, and I binged it.
That's fair. Yeah, that makes sense. Is that all the shows we wished we watched?
Yeah.
All right. Last but not least, we've got our manga standouts. We're an anime podcast, but we also read a ton of manga, so we love talking about the manga that we read over the last couple of weeks. This time is no different. I've got 2 absolute bangers that are just in some great arcs, and then one that I binged and got caught up with. The one that I binged and got caught up with is called I Have a Crush at Work. It's a very cute rom-com where the couple gets together right from chapter 1, and they keep their relationship a secret from their coworkers, and hijinks ensue. Also, they're very cute together, and the girl's very cute herself. And so that was also a W in my book. But the 2 bangers that have had incredible arcs, in my opinion, the past couple of weeks have been Dan to Dan. I feel like I talk about that every single time we do this, and it continues to be peak. And this last arc got me like tearing up because of how good of a backstory it was. Like, this backstory is better than most protagonists in animes that I watch. And then Beat and Motion is another one. This arc was really good, and we're still kind of going through it, and it's a lot of fun. And if you like people trying to be creative and stuff, then you'll probably like this manga. I don't know what else to say. I think it's a Skylar manga.
It's been on my list for a hot minute now.
I think for sure it's a Skylar manga, and I think you'd really get into it. But yeah, if you like people trying to be creative or trying to make their way in the world by creating something, just with some fun characters as well, I'd give Beat in Motion a shot.
Yeah. It won a contest, so it probably beat out whoever else had those guys. I remember. Yeah. I got a few manga that I read. One is Dan to Dan.
Let's go. Give me something.
I've been reading it ever since Viz dropped it right on their site. I was like, what's this? Like, whoa, what is this? Whoa, wow. And still continues to go. And
still peak.
Then you're like, whoa.
And you start crying.
And then it goes back to whoa. Can't wait for the anime. Then got another one. I'm trying to read a lot of the Shonen Jump Plus catalog, and one that came out was Shinturia. It's kind of a Berserk type dark fantasy anime, and it's pretty compelling so far. It's not the most deepest thing, but it's like, I hope this goes far. I hope it doesn't get axed, and I hope there's like an anime adaptation, because like it's got a really interesting concept and like some cool build up they're doing, like what's going to happen next type of thing. And I think it's pretty cool. Also, the opening is like very dark for like how a shonen protagonist gets his powers. It's like, wow, he's got rough, man. And then we got Chainsaw Man, especially with the last few chapters.
Got a little handsy.
Yeah, I got a little handsy. Yeah, hands on. Can't remember the exact date, but I remember it's like, don't ask Chainsaw Man what went down in June. I can't remember the exact date, but yeah, that date when the hand chapter released.
The master hand.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. That's why this show is still peak, because people still talk about it.
Come on, guys. We talked enough about Chainsaw Man.
Talking about the manga right now, not just the anime, the manga. And then last one is just, of course, One Piece. Like these last few chapters have been like mind-blowing revelation stuff, and it's like, oh, we're getting deep into it, and there's a bunch of action going on right now. It's a bit cluttered, but like I would like to see this animated by a better studio in the future, which probably years out of the way, but like it's really gearing up. Yeah. And this last chapter, I did something really cool. I was like, whoa. Yeah. I like One Piece.
So my 3, I also put Chainsaw Man. It's fun. It's like a junior high manga at times, and I love it. I eat it up.
Junior high manga.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in junior high while I'm reading it sometimes. The other 2 bangers I've got is Boruto. Boruto freaking slaps. I wish we could get more of it faster, but I guess I'm satisfied enough with the monthly manga. It's really good, dude. Sarada's a baddie.
You know, I kind of miss my Boruto chapters with my Dragon Ball Super. Rest in peace. It'll come back eventually. I don't know when.
And then the last one I have is Oshinoko. It's coming to a close, and it's good.
Trying to get caught up with that one.
It sure is peak. What more can we say? And everybody, that wraps up our show. That was our spring 2024 anime review. Next episode that we do will be a summer 2024 anime preview. We're going to be going over every single show in the season. We're going to be pointing out the shows that we're watching and get hyped. Get hyped for the next season. I'm excited for it.
Me too.
Oshinoko's coming back, speaking of. So that's going to be exciting. But yeah, that, like I said, that pretty much does it. Thanks again for watching, everybody. We hope you all have a great life, and we'll see you then. Bye.